This week I was playing around with one of my favorite premium scripts, the Candle Pattern Analyzer. With this script you can create strategies that can enter into trades based on any candlestick pattern up to 5 candlesticks. This gives huge freedom, so from time to time I like to develop strategies with it. And today I brought you a 3 candlestick pattern strategy that I built. The candlestick pattern which I'm talking about is called the 1, 2, 3 continuation pattern. In this pattern, the first candle needs to be green, then we need to see a red pullback candle, then a green candle that is bigger than the second candle. The pattern usually suggests a continuation in the current trend to the upside. For this strategy, I added a complex trade management method with multiple take profit and stop loss options, and I think that is what makes this strategy highly profitable. I optimized it for the BTC USDT 1-hour chart for longs only, and in the last 4 years, this strategy generated 680% net profit with 30% maximum drawdown, and as always, fees are included. So in this video, I will explain the full strategy in detail with all the indicators needed so you can trade it manually without our premium script. But if you want to optimize or turn this strategy into a trading bot that can trade automatically for you, or see the backtest results on any asset and time frame with just a few clicks, you can support me and the channel and get access to this premium script and to all of my other premium scripts and optimizations by becoming a Smart Trader tier member on our Patreon page. Link is in the description. And as always, I will show you the backtest results in detail. Without wasting any time, let's get right into it. Okay, let's see the strategy. As always, first head over to TradingView and this time set up the BTC USDT 1-hour chart. Once you got that, let's add our indicators. Open up the Indicators tab and first type in NNFX ATR and add this one to your chart. We will use this indicator for our base stop loss and take profit levels. Then type in WMA or weighted moving average and click on this one. This will be our trend filter, so we only allow trades into the main trend's direction. And finally add squeeze momentum. Add this one. This will be one of our exit signal indicators. Now I try to make this strategy as simple as possible so everyone can use it and try it out. Therefore we only need these 3 indicators. We got all of the indicators, but we need to change a few settings, so let's go over them one by one. First open up the NNFX ATR, set its X value to 20, the TP value to 32.5, don't worry, I will explain it later, and the SL value to 2.5. Then go over to the Styles tab, untick the Sell TP, the Sell SL, and the main ATR, and change the line size to step line. This way it will be easier to see where to put the stop loss and take profit. Then open up the WMA or weighted moving average, change its length to 100, its source to low, and you can color however you like, I used yellow in this case. Now open up the squeeze momentum, we are going to use the default settings, so a 20 KC length, and you can go over to the Styles tab and untick this plot section because we don't need that. Finally, don't forget to go down into the bottom right corner and click on the time zone, and make sure that it is set to the exchange or UTC. Okay, now we have all of the indicators correctly set up, so now let's see the rules of the strategy. Okay, here we have a valid long entry signal. Here you can see the rules for a valid long entry. Let's go over them one by one. First of all, entries are only allowed between 9 PM and 12 AM UTC time zone. So this gives around a 15 hours trading window. We don't allow trades in the afternoon. And that's because when I was backtesting and optimizing, I found out that taking no trades in the afternoon is actually better for the strategy. The second rule is that we don't allow trades on Saturdays. Saturdays weren't so profitable, so we just skipped that day. The third rule is that the entry signal candle needs to close above the 100 length WMA or volume weighted average, which is this yellow line. And now let's see the 3 candle pattern. The first candle needs to be green, and its body needs to be at least as big as the second candle, but it can be more than 10 times bigger. The second candle needs to be red, and the third candle needs to be green again. Its body needs to be at least as big as the second candle, but it can be more than 10 times bigger. So let's take a closer look to that candlestick pattern now. Okay, so these are the 3 candles that we are focusing on now. The first candle needs to be green, that is true, and its body needs to be bigger than the second candle, and if you take a closer look you can see that this is the second candle's body, and the first one has a bigger body. The second candle needs to be red, that is met, and the third candle needs to be green again, and its body needs to be bigger than the second candle's body. As you can see, all of those rules are met. Besides that, the entry signal candle closed above the WMA or the volume weighted moving average. And if you take a look on the bottom, this trade occurred on a Thursday at 6 AM, so we are inside the allowed trading window. That means we can enter into a long position. Entry at the close of the signal candle or at the open of the next candle. As you can see, the script enters at the open of the next candle, because it needs to confirm that all of the conditions are met. The stop loss will be placed at the NNFX ATR lower line, this one right here. This is a 2.5 times ATR distance using a 20 length ATR. And the take profit will be at a 1 to 13 risk to reward ratio. I know this seems to be a bit too far, but that's because for exiting we are using the squeeze momentum mainly. So let's see the exit rules. As I mentioned, we are using a fixed stop loss at a 2.5 times ATR, that is down here. Then we will move this stop loss to break even after a 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio is hit. The fixed take profit level will be at a 1 to 13 risk to reward ratio. We will exit the position if the squeeze momentum turns from green to red, like here. Or we will exit the position if neither the stop loss nor the take profit got hit after 48 hours. And as we are on the 1 hour candle, that means 48 candles. Let's see the move stop loss to break even, and then we'll see how this trade plays out. So the move stop loss to break even will occur at a 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio. You can see it now, the take profit is set at a 1 to 2. And that level was hit right on this candle. And after that, as you can see, the script moved the stop loss at the break even level or at the entry level. So after this candle, if the price goes back to this level, then we close the position with a break even, or actually with a small loss because we are using fees. But now let's see how this trade plays out. Our script says that we exited the position right there because of the squeeze momentum force exit. Let's see if that's true. So the initial take profit level was here, which was not hit. The stop loss was down here, which was not hit. The candle count is 41 bars, so we are still allowed to be in the trade. But looking at the squeeze momentum, you can see that it turned from green to red right on this candle. And the script exited the position correctly on the open of the next candle. So that's the strategy. This is a long only strategy because we are trading Bitcoin, and on Bitcoin trading long only is better. But if you would like, I can create a short only version. Just ask me down in the comment section and I will start working on it. Now let's see another trade, then we will take a look on the backtest result. Okay, here we have another valid long entry signal. For a valid long entry, first the entry signal candle needs to close above the 100 length WMA, which is this yellow line. The candle can't be on a Saturday and it needs to be between 9 PM and 12 AM. If you look down on the chart, you can see that this entry signal candle was on a Tuesday at 5 AM, so it is inside the allowed trading window. Now let's see the 3 candlestick pattern. First, we needed a green candle, and we got it. Then we need a red candle, and the first green candle needs to be bigger than the second red candle. That is true. The third candle also needs to be bigger than the second candle, and it needs to be green. So all of the rules are met for a valid long entry. Now monitoring this strategy manually might be a bit time consuming because you always have to check if we get the 3 candlestick pattern. So after each hour closes, you need to check if there's the pattern or not. That's why for this strategy I would recommend using our premium scripts. And again, you can get access to it by supporting the channel on our Patreon page by becoming a Smart Trader tier member. In that membership, you can get access to all of my premium scripts. I think as of now, I have more than 12 premium scripts, and I made more than 50 optimizations for those scripts. That is also included in the package. So if you want to do that, link is down in the description. Okay, now let's see how this trade plays out. Entry at the close of the signal candle or at the open of the next candle. Stop loss will be placed at the lower NNFX ATR, a 2.5 times ATR distance. First, we will set the take profit at a 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio. If that level is reached, we will move the stop loss to a break even. But in this case, that level was not reached, and we had to exit the position based on the candle count force exit. which means that after 48 candles, if neither the stop loss nor the take profit nor the exit signal indicator was triggered, we close the position. Let's see how many candles have passed. And yes, 48 candles have passed, meaning 48 hours have passed since opening the trade, and therefore the script exited on the next candle's open. But this trade was again another profitable one with a 1 to 1.13 risk-reward ratio, and it captured a 2% movement, which is pretty good. Okay, now that's the strategy, but what about the backtest results? Let's take a look. Before showing you the backtest results, let's talk about the position sizing and the fees. So here you can see the full premium script. I will just quickly scroll through it so you can see how many options you can set up. It has a lot of filters, trade management options, trading date limiters, and so on. So if you are serious about algorithmic trading, I highly recommend to at least try it out for 1 month. You will see how powerful the scripts are. Okay, the position sizing what we use for this strategy is a 6% risk on each trade using the initial capital. That means if you are starting with a $10,000 balance, on each trade you will set up your position sizing according to the fixed stop loss, the ATR based stop loss, in a way that if it gets hit, you will lose 6% of your account. It might sound a bit high, but the generated result shows that the maximum drawdown is just around 30%, which is tolerable for me. If you are a more conservative trader, just set it down to 4, 3 or 2%. That way you will have a lower risk, a lower drawdown, but of course a lower net profit in the end. Switching to the properties tab, I'm using a 0.1% fee on each entry and exit and a 2-tick slippage. Okay, the strategy was optimized from 2021, the 1st of January, till 2025, the 1st of January, and here you can see the backtest results. During these 4 years, the strategy took 289 trades, generated 680% net profit with a 31% maximum drawdown, and a 1.93 profit factor. Comparing it to the buy and hold equity curve, you can see how well this strategy performed, because if you would have bought Bitcoin here and hold it through all of this period, this would have been your profit, but with this strategy, this is our profit. For those who are interested, here are the performance metrics, the trade analysis tab, the risk performance ratios, and some of the trades if you want to see. Okay, but as I always say, optimizing a strategy for a set time interval is not enough, because you can easily over-optimize or overfit the strategy. So what is the easiest method that can give you a clue if a strategy is overfitted or over-optimized? Is to see how well it performs after the optimization date. That's why when I optimize, I always leave a few months of out-of-sample data that the strategy was not optimized for. In this case, as today's date is the 14th of July 2025, we have around 6 months of out-of-sample data. So let's take a look how the strategy performs on that data. I will set the end date to July 14th, 2025 and the start date to 2025, the 1st of January. And here you can see the results. During this period, the strategy took 38 trades, generated 102% net profit with only 24% maximum drawdown, and with a 2.1 profit factor, which is pretty great. The blue line is the buy and hold equity curve, and this green line is our strategy's performance. So as you can see, the initial results are promising. The strategy shows that it can perform well on after optimization date price data. So I'm going to release this as an official optimization to my Smart Trader tier members, and we will see for a few months how this strategy performs, and if it keeps up the good results, I might consider using it in a live market. Let's also check out how it performs on ETH USDT. Because usually a strategy that is good on BTC USDT, usually also good on ETH USDT. And take a look on this. Well, it is profitable, but the drawdown is way too big, 64%. So I would consider lowering the 6% risk on each trade down to around 2% risk. That would result in probably a 10% net profit and a 20% maximum drawdown, which is not the best. But you can see how Ethereum's equity curve looks like, and as this is a long only strategy, in a downtrending bearish period like this, it can't really take any good trades. As you can see, Ethereum started to move up, the script took a huge win, and as recently it started to move up again, it took again a huge profit right here. So I think this strategy really has potential. I'm really excited to see how it will perform in the coming months. Let me know what you think of this down in the comment section. And that wraps up today's video. If you want to see other highly profitable strategies created with our premium scripts that you can get access to by becoming a Smart Trader 3 member on our Patreon page, check out this playlist. Or if you find out how well our strategies performed in the last 6 months and see one of my most stable and profitable strategy, check out this video. As always, thank you all for watching, have an amazing day, and until next time, trade smart.